Have you ever felt the sudden chill when he seems to withdraw? One moment he's texting constantly, sharing his day, laughing with you, and the next moment he's distant, distracted, or barely responsive. It can feel like your world tilts on its axis, leaving you questioning yourself, your worth, and the stability of your relationship. The truth, however, is far more nuanced than a simple lack of love or interest. Pull-away behaviors are deeply rooted in human psychology. They are often subconscious responses, shaped by personal history, emotional regulation patterns, and the dynamics of modern relationships. Understanding this pattern is the first step to transforming tension and confusion into connection and insight. Many people mistakenly interpret emotional withdrawal as rejection. In reality, it is often a protective mechanism, a way for a man to process stress, uncertainty, or emotional overload. Recognizing this distinction is crucial, because how you respond can either deepen the bond or escalate distance. Men and women process emotions differently. Women are typically wired for verbal intimacy, sharing feelings, and relational processing. Men, on the other hand, are more likely to internalize emotional strain, seeking solitude to sort out thoughts and regain equilibrium. This does not mean men are incapable of deep emotion or love. Rather, it's a different mode of processing, one that can be misread as detachment or indifference. Stress is a major trigger for withdrawal. When external pressures, work, family, or social obligations, mount, men often retreat to regain control over internal chaos. Unlike women, who may verbalize tension to alleviate it, men tend to compartmentalize and create psychological space. The withdrawal is temporary, often subconscious, and a signal that the mind needs recalibration. Past trauma or attachment history also plays a critical role. Men who experienced abandonment, criticism, or neglect in childhood may have heightened sensitivity to perceived emotional pressure. These early experiences can manifest as avoidance patterns in adult relationships. When confronted with emotional intensity, withdrawal becomes a learned coping mechanism to prevent perceived emotional harm. Another factor is autonomy. Intimacy can sometimes feel like a threat to personal freedom. When closeness triggers a fear of being overwhelmed, a man may pull back to restore a sense of independence. This retreat is not a reflection of love lost. It is a self-regulatory strategy, ensuring he does not feel trapped or suffocated. Recognizing pull-away patterns is the key to responding effectively. Subtle indicators often appear before complete withdrawal. Delayed responses to messages, reduced enthusiasm in conversation, avoidance of emotional topics, or unexplained irritability can all precede a temporary retreat. Observing these signs allows a partner to approach the situation with understanding. Instead of reacting with panic or guilt, creating space and practicing patience can prevent escalation. Empathy, curiosity, and non-judgmental inquiry are powerful tools in these moments. Consider the example of Alex, a 28-year-old man who often pulled away after stressful days at work. His girlfriend initially felt rejected, spiraling into anxious questioning. After learning that his withdrawal was a stress coping mechanism, she adapted her approach, offering reassurance without pressure. Over time, these moments became predictable and manageable, strengthening trust instead of eroding it. Love is communicated differently by men and women. Women often express love through conversation, attention, and vulnerability. Men may demonstrate love through action, problem-solving, and protection. When withdrawal occurs, it may seem like emotional absence, but it can simply be a difference in emotional expression. Understanding these differences requires awareness of love languages and relational styles. Recognizing that action-oriented gestures may be his way of expressing care prevents misinterpretation of emotional distance as lack of love. Bridging this gap transforms anxiety into empathy. Reacting to withdrawal with panic, accusations, or pressure often backfires. Attempts to pull him back can trigger defensiveness, increasing distance. Overanalyzing his behavior or seeking constant reassurance amplifies relational tension. A more effective strategy is to combine patience with thoughtful communication. Expressing curiosity without judgment, offering space while maintaining connection, and validating his feelings fosters a safe environment. For example, saying, "I notice you've been quieter lately. I want to understand how you're feeling, opens dialogue without creating pressure. Attachment theory provides profound insight into pull-away behavior. Men with avoidant attachment often feel threatened by closeness and respond with distance. Those with anxious attachment may pull away due to fear of rejection or conflict. Understanding his attachment style allows partners to interpret withdrawal patterns without personalizing them. Case study. Michael, a 35-year-old with avoidant attachment, would retreat after emotionally charged conversations. His partner initially interpreted this as rejection. Learning about attachment theory reframed her perspective, allowing her to respond with patience, creating an environment where Michael could safely express vulnerability over time. Give space without detachment. Allow him psychological breathing room while maintaining emotional connection. Communicate curiosity. Ask open-ended questions without judgment. Validate emotions. Acknowledge his feelings even if they seem confusing. Maintain personal boundaries. Avoid overextending yourself to compensate for his withdrawal. Self-regulate. Practice mindfulness, journaling, or self-soothing techniques to manage anxiety. Pull-away moments can actually be opportunities. They allow both partners to reflect, grow emotionally, and reassess relational dynamics. When handled with awareness, these episodes build resilience, deepen understanding, and foster mutual trust. For example, a couple may discover unspoken expectations during a withdrawal phase. Addressing these consciously strengthens the bond rather than creating a rift. Emotional intelligence transforms tension into a pathway for deeper intimacy. Not all withdrawal is healthy. Consistent emotional unavailability, avoidance of conflict, or manipulative distancing may indicate deeper relational problems. Chronic detachment can erode trust and emotional safety. Professional guidance, therapy, or structured communication exercises may be necessary to prevent long-term damage. Discernment is key. Knowing when withdrawal is temporary versus harmful prevents misinterpretation and unnecessary stress. Journal triggers. Write down moments when pull-away occurs and your emotional reactions. Self-check. Evaluate if your response is driven by fear or curiosity. Mindful observation. Note patterns without judgment. Empathy practice. Reflect on his perspective and emotional needs. Communicative experimentation. Test gentle, open-ended conversation strategies and observe outcomes. These exercises cultivate relational intelligence, patience, and understanding. Men pull away for reasons ranging from stress, emotional overload, past trauma, or need for autonomy. It is rarely a reflection of love lost. Responding with empathy, patience, and effective communication transforms temporary distance into opportunity. Emotional retreat can become a bridge to deeper intimacy, stronger trust, and relational growth. Understanding the psychology behind pull-away behavior equips couples to navigate emotional challenges wisely. Instead of reacting with fear or resentment, they can embrace these moments as catalysts for emotional intelligence, resilience, and deeper connection.